everybody. You're watching Power Professional Wrestling. This is our first match of the day. Chavo Guerrero and Coco Beware going against the Sheep Herders, Luke Williams and Butch Miller, with Jack Victory, as you can see on the outside of the ring, carrying the New Zealand flag. We join this match in progress. Coco Beware hammering away at the forehead of Luke Williams, but Butch Miller from behind comes in and attacks Coco Beware. Chavo Guerrero is not going to stand for that. But referee Carl Fergie is not going to stand for Chavo Guerrero's interference either. Anytime you get the Sheep Herders in the ring, you're bound to see some rules broken. And positioning of the referee can oftentimes be crucial in matches like this and can lead to a decision. Jack Victory on the outside of the ring there. You've always got to consider him as a factor. He's more than just a regular manager. He's also a wrestler who's proven himself here in the UWF and is improving all the time. Butch Miller fires Coco Beware off hard with an elbow. Goes for the fall, but Coco Beware kicks out. Tag into Williams and Miller. Williams from Miller, rather, as Luke Williams comes in and stomping. These two men use more fighting tactics in the ring than I think I've ever seen any tag team used before. Is Coco Beware firing back to the breadbasket of Luke Williams. Crisscross, a lot of momentum built up there as Luke Williams involved in a tremendous collision with Coco Ware. Coco is down. Williams and Ware both at this point need to make the tag to their respective partners. Chavo Guerrero leaning out over the outside of the ropes. Butch Miller looks to be more concerned with what the crowd thinks of the situation than whether or not he's going to get the tag. Chavo Guerrero gets it to the crowd's delight as Chavo Guerrero with a beautiful drop kick. He's drop kicking everybody. Guerrero with that circling back savate kick. That one's tough to defense. It's Coco Beware into the ring now. We've got a Pier 6 brawl. As I said before, we've joined this match in progress. Later on in this hour, we'll have two great championship matchups from right here at the Hirsch Coliseum in Shreveport. So you see Chavo Guerrero and Coco Beware really hammering the Sheep Herders at this point. Chavo sets for the arm whip. Coco Beware still brawling with Butch Miller. And Chavo Guerrero goes over the top of Luke Williams. He has him rolled up, but Carl Fergie is still distracted with Coco Ware and Butch Miller. Jack Victory up on the ring apron and with that steel flagpole just hammered Chavo Guerrero. The Sheep Herders gained a 3 count, a controversial decision for the Sheep Herders. It's not very often you'll see somebody gain a victory on a world-class competitor like Chavo Guerrero, but the Sheep Herders, with the help of Jack Victory from the outside, gain a decisive victory, and their feud with the Fantastics is far, far from over. Thank you for being with us, everybody, and now let's go to Jim Ross.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Ross. Thank you very much for being with us. Great tag team action starting off the program here today. One point I want to make involving that match is that the Fantastics and the Sheep Herder situation is far, far from over. The Sheep Herders have emphatically said that they're not only going to win the UWF tag team titles, but in the process are going to put Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton out of wrestling. A point in the defense of Coco Ware and Chavo Guerrero. To my knowledge, that was the first time that they had ever joined forces. I think a little bit more experience together, and we could very easily see a different outcome if they have the opportunity to get a rematch with the Sheep Herders. It's going to be a tremendous hour here on Power Pro Wrestling. We're going to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan go against Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, our feature match from the past. That match for the North American Heavyweight Championship. We're going to see two exclusive first-run matches right here on Power Pro Wrestling that pits the Fantastics going against Michael Hayes and Buddy Roberts, the Fabulous Freebirds. We're also going to see Terry Taylor against Terry Gordy. UWF Heavyweight Championship will be on the line in that one. Plus, you're going to see a very special video, and we'll tell you all about this card and see these great matches when we come back from this timeout.
Gentlemen, introducing our first match for the North American title. Introducing first, from St. Petersburg, Florida, weighing 265 pounds, Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. His opponent,
Somewhat of a star from what we saw last week as Buzz Sawyer attacked him with that logging chain and Duggan. Brother, there's no love lost between these two men. Duggan just nailed him again. This could be it. Duggan gets a 2 count. Jim Duggan is hammering Buzz Sawyer. Buzz has just about had enough. He's leaving. He is leaving, Jim. Keep in mind, too, that normal rules. Oh, brother. What a clothesline. Hacksaw Duggan is on fire. So are the fans here at the Oklahoma City Marion. Only on New Universal Wrestling Federation. Do you see a main event like this?
Sawyer's not going down that easy. He's a double tough man. There's never been any doubt about that. And remember, the very first program on the Universal Wrestling Federation, it's on the line right here.
Listen to these people get behind Jim Duggan. Duggan has Sawyer right where he wants him. Just keep it up, Jimbo. Oh, man. Sawyer can retaliate on you so quick. Both of these men have such similar styles. They're such great fighters. And Sawyer, is he going to the top? He's on the top rope, but Duggan gets up. Sawyer got a little bit cocky, and look at this.
All the way from the top. Hacksaw Duggan's fighting back against Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. And this place is going crazy.
As well they should, Jim. This could be a main event in any part of the world. Hacksaw Duggan and Buzz Sawyer, one of the greatest feuds in the history of wrestling. As Duggan is taking it to him. Duggan definitely with an aggressive advantage so far. Sawyer's hurt. Finish him off, and look, he's going for the spear. Come on, Duggan. Oh, no. Duggan has so much speed and so much quickness. He was at full speed. I guarantee you he would have leveled Sawyer, but Sawyer saw it coming. Sawyer attacking those ribs, attacking the part that he injured last week.
Oh, it's breaking loose right here. Duggan with those severely injured ribs. Sawyer's trying to take advantage of it. This crowd so solidly behind that man. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Looks as if Sawyer might have bloodied Duggan's nose with it. Or something. Rather,
He's working on those ribs. He's spattered them. The steel railing, and he's hammering them. I don't know how much longer Duggan can go. Those ribs are heavily bandaged. And Sawyer's relentless, but Duggan's fighting back.
Jim, a rib injury can always be very, very painful. It can be incapacitating. If there's one man that's tough enough to handle it, it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan. The Sawyer, that move right there, I guarantee you sent pain all through Duggan's body right there. From the ribs, that impact on the ground, Sawyer's suplexes are so powerful. And again, we see Sawyer going up to the top rope. Keep in mind, a disqualification could save the title for Buzz Sawyer. Sawyer on the top rope. He goes for it, but Duggan gets out of the way. Duggan. The spear!
He got him! He got him, the spear! Yeah! Hacksaw Duggan, the new champion! Hacksaw Duggan's won the title! The crowd loves it at the Marion. We've got a new champion! Listen to him!
Hacksaw Jim Duggan with a hard-fought victory over Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer using the patented spear that Duggan has really perfected in professional wrestling. And I want to say that Duggan fought that match with a lot of pain, injured ribs. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, a double-tough competitor, will never take anything away from Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer, but I think it was easy to see that Hacksaw Duggan did prove that he was a better man on that occasion in retaining the North American title. And I want to make maybe an editorial comment here. I don't think there's going to be any more physical feud in professional wrestling today between two athletes than is brewing now in the UWF between the one-man gang and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. The gang, 6'9", 454 pounds. And with General Skandar Akbar at ringside, is a tremendous challenge for Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And we'll be addressing that situation more in upcoming weeks and perhaps even in this hour. But right now, let's prepare for one of the greatest tag team matches we've ever been able to bring you. We'll have it right after this timeout, the Fantastics versus the Freebirds, when we return.
Today at 3 o'clock, Universal Wrestling Federation will be in Thibodaux at the Civic Center for a tremendous event. Tickets go on sale today at noon at the box office. Today you'll see a barbed wire tag match, 2 championship showdowns, and you'll see such UWF stars as the Fantastics, Terry Taylor, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and the Missing Link. Dark Journey will be there along with Coco Ware, midget wrestlers, the Freebirds, plus Kamala and General Skandar Akbar, the Sheep Herders, and many more. That's today at 3 o'clock in Thibodaux at the Civic Center. It's a tremendous event. Don't you miss it. Hello again, everybody, and good morning to you. I'm Jim Ross. Thanks very much for being with us here on Power Pro Wrestling. This Friday night at the Municipal Auditorium here in New Orleans, a super wrestling card coming your way. Downtown, 8 o'clock this Friday night. Big Friday night card. You're going to see Coco Ware and the Missing Link with Dark Journey in their corner go against Hollywood John Tatum and Jack Victory. Missy Hyatt will, of course, be in their corner. Plus, you're going to see the Fantastics on this card Friday night, along with Kamala, Ugandan Giant, Chavo Guerrero, Hacksaw Duggan against the one-man gang, Cowboy Bill Watts and Terry Taylor against the Freebirds. We'll hear from many of the stars in this hour, starting with this.
I'm Missy Hyatt. I have the 2 best-looking men in professional wrestling. The 2 most sexiest men in professional wrestling. What does that DJ Dark Journey have? Ha! She has no kind of men to compare with these 2 men right here. Coco Ware, Missing Link, let me tell you, I got the 2 best-looking men, and when they get together for the tag team, they're going to whip Dark Journey's boys' little tails on that down the line.
We've done it already.
Journey, I'm going to teach you something about this wrestling business. You know, Hollywood just loves, anytime he can, to get a hold of that Missing Link. And Jack right here, he's going to take care of both.
Would I lie to you? I'm going to tell you one thing. You see the Link and the Birdman, we're moving and grooving with Dark Journey on ourselves. You see, Dark Journey asked the Birdman to join in with them, baby. And we've been cooking, and we're going to keep on cooking. Because I'm telling you one thing, Hollywood, John Tatum, I'm going to make you so bad. I want to see how tough you are, boy. Because I'm going to put more knots on your head as fast as you can rub it. Come here, Dark Journey. Come on in and talk to the Birdman. Tell me what's on your mind. Come on.
What's on my mind is you are going to take care of John Tatum.
All right.
And Victory.
That's right. That's
and I'll
right.
take care of Missy Hyatt.
That's right.
That's all right.
I'm going to tell you one thing, baby. You might as well come on because the Missy Link is going to be banging his head and the Birdman's going to be flying all over the place. And I want you to take care of Missy Hyatt, okay? Whoa!
Well, that's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Dark Journey and Missy Hyatt, will they get together? I think you can count on it Friday night. Dark Journey wants Missy Hyatt in the worst way. And we're going to talk more about this Friday night's big event and hear from more top stars in the hour this morning.
Well, here it is, the first of our Power Professional Wrestling main events, featuring the Freebirds against the Fantastics. Michael Hayes and Buddy Roberts against Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton. This match just getting underway. Rogers and Roberts kind of testing the water. And listen to the chant here in Shreveport at the Hirsch Coliseum. The people are chanting, "Go home, Freebirds." There's a lot of people who would like to see the Freebirds out of the area, but I know of one person in particular that wants to keep them around so that he can get a little taste of revenge on them. And that's my father, Cowboy Bill Watts. He is definitely ready for the Freebirds. He's been training. He's been getting psyched up. And when he comes to the ring, he comes loaded for bear. And some of you people have been seeing the baseball bat that he's been carrying with him lately. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Collar and elbow tie-up. Rogers. Oh, man, a flying mare by Buddy Roberts, a couple of them there. He goes to the well, but Rogers catches him in a rear double cup. And the threat of a pinfall sends Buddy Roberts back to his own corner for a little bit of sanctuary there. And Michael Hayes on the outside of the ring. Michael's been gaining a lot of notoriety here in the UWF lately. Not only because of his commentary, but because of his actions in the ring. His threats to Ted DiBiase, to Terry Taylor. A recent incident involving Steve Dr. Death Williams from the New Orleans Lakefront Arena. By the way, we'll be showing you that match in its entirety next week. Ted DiBiase against Terry Gordy. Dr. Death severely injured in that bout. Whoa, Tommy Rogers taken in hard into the turnbuckle. Roberts with the chop in the corner. A hard elbow. Buddy Roberts has really geared up for the UWF competition. I think Buddy's probably in the best shape I've seen him in several years of wrestling, harder than I've ever seen. As I said, he's geared up for everybody. He's even challenged my father. And when you're taking on 300 pounds of bad, you know he's got to be confident of his ability. And of course, he gets talked up by Michael Hayes quite a bit, the spiritual leader of the Freebirds. And here we see him. And the getting to be all too familiar moonwalk. Michael struts his stuff. But it appears that Bobby Fulton wants a timeout here. With Bobby Fulton doing the strut. A little shake of the hips, and that sends Michael Hayes into an egotistical frenzy as we see Bobby Fulton and Michael Hayes about to tie up. Like I said before, this is the first of our Power Pro main events. Coming up next, we have Terry Gordy going against Terry Taylor for the UWF Heavyweight Championship. Stick around because that match is going to be a barn burner, and it looks like this one's turning into one as well. As Bobby Fulton with arm drags on Michael Hayes. Hayes trying to get away from both these men, but they've got him cornered, and Hayes makes it in for the tag. Hayes makes it in for the tag, and as we see with so many of the great tag teams, the Freebirds like to use the quick tag as much as anybody. It's a tactic that can be very effective. When you're switching off your partners quickly, you've got a lot more energy between the two of you, a lot more stamina. And now it's Bobby Fulton and Buddy Roberts tying up, but Buddy Roberts there with a quick single leg. And he looks to really be applying some pressure to Bobby Fulton's knee. And not only that, he's using the tights, positioning the referee like the true veteran that he is. Buddy Roberts really cranking the knee and the tights at Bobby Fulton. And Fulton is in a bad predicament here. I'm sure his knee's in a lot of pain. But in the threat of the pinfall, I'm not sure which one is more pressing on his mind, the pain in his knee or the onset of a pinfall. In either instance, Buddy Roberts is cheating all over the place. The referee, Tommy Gilbert, I think, caught it out of the corner of his eye there, and he is forcing Buddy Roberts to break the hold. Good call, Tommy. Tommy Gilbert, a fine official. Tommy is fast establishing himself as one of the finest officials in the wrestling business. And of course, he's been through a lot here in the UWF. He suffered a recent back injury that he's recovering from that put him in the hospital. Tommy's a trooper, as is Tommy Rogers. Tommy Rogers has quite a bit of heart, and many people feel that he's one of the most underrated wrestlers in wrestling. As a single competitor, he's great. The Fantastics, of course, on top of the heap now as the UWF Tag Team Champions. Tommy Rogers, like I said before, great athlete, a lot of heart, a lot of desire, but he also knows how to bend the rules, and he will fight fire with fire, as we see Tommy Rogers using the tights in a very similar maneuver to what Buddy Roberts was using on Bobby Fulton earlier. And now Fulton again in, taking over on Buddy Roberts. And now it's Roberts who looks to be in the predicament for the pinfall. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back here very shortly with the conclusion of this great match from Shreveport at the Hirsch Coliseum. But first, let's take a brief timeout for some commercial messages. Roberts aggressively attacking the back of Bobby Fulton as we rejoin this Power Professional Wrestling main event, the Fantastics against the Freebirds. And if you've just joined us, you have caught a classic matchup. Bobby Fulton attempting to make his way out of this bear hug. He slaps his forearms across the ears of Buddy Roberts, and it breaks him free of that bear hug. But Michael Hayes is quick to get back into that ring and attack the back area of Bobby Fulton. They have turned it into their game plan, and it is proving to be effective because they have Bobby Fulton in a big predicament at this point. He's out on the announcer's table. Looks to be in a lot of pain. Tommy Rogers coming to the aid of his partner. These two cheer each other on and help each other out spiritually as well as physically. And of course, they get a lot of fan support, and they say that it helps drive them along in their matches when they get down. And oh man, Bobby Fulton went for the flying body press, but Michael Hayes was not there. And Bobby Fulton came crashing down hard on the canvas. Michael Hayes putting the punishment on Bobby Fulton now. Buddy Roberts in, attacking with a kick, side backbreaker. Roberts, as I said before, is aggressively attacking that lower back area on Fulton. And of course, this is classic tag team strategy. As long as they can keep Fulton in the ring and keep attacking that back area, the Freebirds are good enough to where they could pull off a victory. And Buddy Roberts again using the tights back there. Buddy Roberts inflicting a lot of pain on Bobby Fulton, and he cradles the leg and goes for a fall. Fulton kicks out, however. Buddy Roberts is one man who can dish it out, but he can also take it. Unlike a Hacksaw Duggan who goes with pain and injury, as we saw earlier in the hour, Buddy Roberts is a man who thrives on pain and injury. Michael Hayes comes into the ring and begins the attack on Bobby Fulton. Few fists to the breadbasket. Michael Hayes goes after the choke. Tommy Gilbert counting him out of it. Michael Hayes has a 4 count to break it up, and he is shading that count and using every millisecond of it. As Michael Hayes signals to his partner, they're trying to position the referee for some kind of a, yes, Buddy Roberts came off the top rope, and the Freebirds' little plan worked. Hayes with the lateral press, but Fulton gets his foot on the rope, and Michael Hayes was so sure that it was going to be a 3 count, and he thought it was over. And that proved to be just enough of a distraction for Bobby Fulton to fire it up and start hammering Hayes, but hammering is not doing the job, as Hayes and Fulton jockeying for position end up in a collision right in the middle of the ring. Bobby Fulton is getting up slowly, as is Hayes, but looks as if Hayes made the tag first. Roberts coming in, but Bobby Fulton with that last ounce of energy pours it out and makes the tag to Tommy Rogers. And now you're going to see a buzzsaw in action as Tommy Rogers firing it up on both the Freebirds. He's trying to get that momentum built up in a hurry. Tommy Rogers has that second wind, that reserve of steam that every great athlete has. Whoa, look at the Freebirds, what a move. It looked as if the Fantastics really had the Freebirds in a lot of trouble there, but the Freebirds turned it around. You've got to give credit where credit's due. They really hammered the Fantastics. But can the Fantastics come back from it? You see Tommy Rogers on the outside of the ring. Tommy's going up. But Buddy and Michael, oh, look at this. Flying body press off the top rope. Tommy Rogers with a very, very risky move there. Tommy Gilbert just missed it. All four men in the ring battling it out. Roberts with the body slam. Hayes hammering Fulton. Roberts goes for another body slam, and he has Rogers in a predicament now. The tide is changing very quickly, but inside drop cradle by Tommy Rogers. He gets the 3 count on Buddy Roberts. And a victory for the Fantastics, a big one for the UWF Tag Team Champions. Let's go back to Jim Ross.
Great victory for Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton, the Fantastics, over Michael Hayes and Buddy Roberts. Now, great teamwork by the Fantastics. I really think that they're the tag team of the 80s. Fulton and Rogers really at the top of their game, the reigning UWF Tag Team Champions. In defense of the Freebirds, I got to think that Michael Hayes is so much preoccupied with this Cowboy Bill Watts situation, it's almost hard to zero in on those UWF Tag Team titles. I think that's a situation that Hayes is. Buddy Roberts, I don't know if he's aware of anything anyway, but be that as it may, Michael Hayes better be worried more about surviving this onslaught from the big cowboy than running his mouth and worrying about who the UWF Tag Team Champions are or whatever. Michael Hayes has started something with Terry Gordy and Buddy Roberts that I don't know if they're man enough to finish, involving the 300-pound cowboy from Oklahoma. And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the Freebirds, we're going to see a tremendous matchup. Terry Taylor will challenge Terry Bam Bam Gordy for the UWF Heavyweight Championship. You're going to see it right here on Power Pro Wrestling when we return.
Before we talk about this Friday night's big event, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that today at 3 o'clock in Thibodaux, that super card at the Civic Center, the box office opens there today at 12 noon. You're going to see a barbed wire cage match in Thibodaux. You're going to see 2 championship matches. All the top UWF stars will be there. That's in Thibodaux today at 3 o'clock. Also, I'd like to invite you to join us in Donaldsonville at the Lehman's Memorial Center for a super UWF card on Thursday night at 7:30. Now, this Friday night right here in New Orleans at the Municipal Auditorium downtown, big event because the Freebirds will get it on with Cowboy Bill Watts and Terry Taylor. I'd like for you to listen to this.
Make sure you read the shirt right, Watts. Bad Streets USA, a place that not even you, cowboy, can walk down. Because you stepped over the boundary. You need to stay behind that desk and out of the ring. You may have been able to run off some Russians with a baseball bat, but these are the boys from Bad Street, and this is the Universal Heavyweight Champion, and you don't mess with the UWF Heavyweight Champion. I don't care who you think you are, right?
That's right. You know what this means right here, Watts? This means we're the best in the world. That's what this means right here. And as far as that baseball bat, when I get a hold of that baseball bat, I'm going to make you wish that you had never seen that baseball bat in your life, Watts.
A lot of people don't really understand why you tape your hands when you go in a fight. The reason is you can hit so hard that you break your own fists. So the reason you tape your hands is to give that extra support so you can hit as hard as you want. And you don't have to worry about it breaking your own fist because you want the pain to be delivered to your opponent. Well, Terry Taylor, you're my man. We got to have a family, you understand, because we got to clip the Freebirds' wings. And Freebirds, you think you terrorize people. You forgot one thing. When it comes to terrorism and guerrilla warfare in wrestling, I wrote the book. Get ready, you vultures. We're going to clip your wings, and you're going to get that.
It's going to get mighty physical downtown this Friday night. Cowboy Bill Watts and Terry Taylor versus the Freebirds. Plus, you're going to see the battle of the tough guys. The 454-pound one-man gang against this man, Hacksaw Duggan.
You want to talk about tough guys, and you want to talk about tough areas, you talk about Halstead Street up in Chicago. Oh, Hacksaw Duggan, I've never heard of it, and I've never been there. I've been down in the Mid-South kicking around some tough guys. So now you got this big Yankee, the one-man gang. He comes out with Skandar Akbar at his side. He's saying, I'm from tough Chicago.
I'm from Tough Street. I'm a tough man. Well, let me tell you something. Tough guy, welcome to the UWF.
Gordy for the UWF heavyweight title. Terry Taylor, the current television champion. This match is for the UWF title, as I said earlier. The television title is not involved here. As we see a collar and elbow tie-up, this promises to be a great match. Both of these men, fantastic, world-class competitors. Terry Gordy with the height and weight advantage, but we've seen Terry Taylor on many occasions take on men bigger than him and come out on top. As we see a little shoving match involved here, is referee Carl Fergie reminding these two men that this is to be a wrestling match, and a championship match such as this, well, it just shouldn't break down into a brawl right off the bat like this. Collar and elbow tie up again. You see Terry Taylor taken into the turnbuckles. Again, we see a few more shoves, and there appears to be a lot of animosity between these two men already. I know Terry Taylor is really fired up for this bout. Ever since he's come to the UWF, he has set his sights on the UWF Championship, of course formerly the North American Championship. But Terry has always set his sights at the top, as does any great athlete. Taylor with the headlock, but Gordy using his size and weight to pick Taylor up. But of course, with Taylor's quickness, and he's such a great wrestler, taking Terry off his feet like that is maybe not the right way to go. Taylor coming off the ropes. The action's really getting moving as Gordy went for a clothesline, and Terry Taylor with a beautiful flying body press. And you can see right off the bat that Terry Taylor definitely is a legitimate contender for that title. And Terry Gordy, I'm sure, is reassessing Terry Taylor, as Taylor really had him in a predicament. Taylor again with the headlock. One thing about both these men is they're both great scientific wrestlers. Gordy, of course, likes to brawl a little bit. But on the whole, both of them can really, they could really go and they could really think in the ring. You see Gordy using a rear double cup on Taylor, but Taylor uses his flexibility to get out of it. Gordy prancing around the ring. I think that's as much of a psychological tactic as it is anything. Sometimes that kind of flamboyancy can tend to make your competitor think that you're more relaxed about the match than you really are, but I'm sure both of these men are geared to the fullest. Some people use different psychological tactics in matches. Some people look determined, give you a face like they're going to tear your head off, and other people like Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy like to prance around the ring and show that they are too confident. And again, we see the Freebird, Terry Gordy, using the tights, just like earlier where we saw his brothers, Michael Hayes and Buddy Roberts, with extensive use of the tights in their matches. And Terry Taylor still clings to that headlock. Taylor's a tough man to keep down. When you have him down on his shoulders like that, he has an excellent bridge, and like I said before, he's very flexible. Of course, that may not always be the type of stuff that makes you successful in professional wrestling, having a great neck bridge. Terry Taylor continues to apply that headlock. And Gordy at this point could probably get up to a base, but he may be planning his next move here. And Terry Taylor, I think, needs to get a little bit better leverage on Gordy. He's controlling the head. Most of the time when you control the head, you're controlling the body. But you see, Terry Gordy has a base. He worked up to his knees, and now he's on his feet. And we're going to see some action here, but no, Terry Taylor clings to it. He has that headlock in mind, and he is obviously going to try and keep it no matter what it takes. Gordy he must really have it, Taylor rather, must really have it locked in there, as Gordy couldn't get him shot off. I've just been notified it's time to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this great match. Please stay with us, everybody. More Power Professional Wrestling action. Gordy against Taylor for the UWF heavyweight title. Gordy wrenching the headlock in on Terry Taylor, and in the first segment of this match, we saw Terry Taylor using the headlock against Terry Gordy. Gordy has turned it around, though. Terry Bam Bam Gordy, a fantastic athlete, a man who has several very punishing weapons at his disposal. He uses the pile driver as effectively as anybody in professional wrestling. And of course, he used it on the concrete floor to the head of Dr. Death Steve Williams and put Dr. Death in the hospital. And he uses the Bam Bam Slam, tremendous power slam off the second rope. We have also seen him use the Oriental Spike, and that was the move that nearly ended it for my father, Cowboy Bill Watts. Terry Gordy now goes into the sleeper out of the headlock, a logical transition, and Terry Gordy, as I said before, a fantastic ring tactician. When you start on a certain part of the body, you want to continue the punishment. No use wasting time skipping all over the body. You may as well attack one certain part of it, and of course the head. Once you control the head, you control the body, and it looks as if Terry Taylor is in a lot of trouble. Gordy has that sleeper locked in, and now that Gordy has his weight up above Taylor, it's going to be hard for Terry Taylor to push 295 pounds back up into a base position where he could try and make his way out of this hole. Terry Bam Bam Gordy trying to put him unconscious, but Taylor may have a strategy here in laying down in this position. He may be able to move his head into a position that would allow that arm to slide off the carotid arteries and allow the blood to keep going to his brain and make that sleeper hold ineffective. Carl Fergie was checking the arm, and Terry Taylor with a positive response. The crowd here in Shreveport at the Hirsch Coliseum voicing their approval as Terry Taylor makes it up to a base. Elbows to the midsection, and Terry Gordy decides to take another avenue as he lets go of that sleeper, and Terry Taylor reverses the arm whip and reverses the sleeper on Terry Gordy. A beautiful move by Terry Taylor. Terry is in such great physical condition. He has that amazing recuperative strength where he can turn around, it looks like with almost certain doom, and be back on you and all over you and have you in trouble in no time at all as Terry Gordy continues to do that strut. People here in Shreveport beckoning Terry Taylor to make it back up into the ring. As Carl Fergie with the count. Terry Taylor almost with a 10 count there, but Bam Bam jams that neck across that top rope. And that has got to be very painful. You could put yourself in that situation, having 295 pounds dropping down, pulling you by the hair over a steel ring cable right into the Adam's apple. Brother, that has got to be very painful, and that can have a residual effect if you've ever had a blow to the throat before. And once again, Terry Gordy goes back and does it again. This could spell the end for Terry Taylor. Carl Fergie really getting on Terry Gordy at this point in time. Terry Gordy could very well be close to getting disqualified here, but Terry Taylor is also close to getting disqualified because he's on the outside of the ring, and Carl Fergie has elected to make the count. And if Taylor doesn't make it back into the ring by the 10 count, he will lose this match by disqualification. Taylor making it up to the ring apron. It looks like he's using every ounce of energy he has to make it that far, and Terry Taylor reverses it on Terry Gordy. That's the second time we've seen a similar move used to switch the momentum. Both these men, very similar ring strategies, it appears. Oh, Taylor with a hard right. Of course, that's breaking the rules, but Terry Gordy had no reverence for the rule book either in that situation. And this match is breaking down into a brawl. Like I said before, both of these men, look at that! Wow! Terry Gordy head over heels into the turnbuckles. And it looks as if Gordy has fully lost his senses. Taylor pressing the attack. Taylor's really got to keep on him. Gordy can stand a lot of punishment. Backward suplex, and Terry is getting fired up. The people are getting fired up too. They can sense it. Terry Taylor wants that UWF Championship belt as we see him sink a hard right into the face of Gordy. Gordy reverses the arm whip, and now it's Taylor going head over heels into the turnbuckles. A long, hard, grueling match. And both of these men are fighting with everything that they have. Gordy loves that title. Terry Taylor wants it more than anything, and Terry is thrown into the steel ring barricades. Once again, Terry Gordy shading the rules for everything they're worth. And Carl Fergie checking to see if Terry Taylor's all right. I'm sure Terry Taylor wouldn't want the match to end this way. He may be in a lot of pain. He has to be in a lot of pain, but I'm sure he doesn't want it to end on this. That UWF title means too much to him. And I'm sure at several points throughout this match, he has felt it practically within his grasp. Taylor slapping himself in the face to try and get up. The people really pulling for Taylor. Now, I'm sure Carl Fergie is on the ring apron, although we can't see him at this point. I'm sure he's on the ring apron with a count. There it is, a 6 count he's up to as Terry Gordy comes in, which breaks the count. Terry Taylor reverses the turnbuckle. A hard shoulder, and look at this, a sunset flip over the top rope. He has Gordy reeling, but 295 pounds is just too much as Gordy holds the ropes to gain the fall and the victory and to retain the UWF Heavyweight Championship. Terry Gordy rapidly making a name for himself here in the UWF. Let's go back to Jim Ross.
Bam Bam. Terry Gordy, the UWF Heavyweight Champion, defeating Terry Taylor here on Power Pro Wrestling, and it seems that Bam Bam is becoming very proficient with that particular maneuver that he pinned Terry Taylor with. And we don't certainly agree with those tactics, but they were very effective in that particular instance. Terry Taylor is a world-class individual, and remember that the UWF television title was not on the line in that particular matchup. Terry Bam Bam Gordy, I think quite obviously, poses the biggest physical threat to Cowboy Bill Watts and whoever Bill Watts has in his corner against the Freebirds. Bam Bam is one of the top 2 or 3 athletes in the world today. Many people consider him the #1 man in pro wrestling today because he is the holder of the Universal Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we're going to take a very special look at Terry Taylor, and we'll have that look at Terry Taylor when we come back from this message from the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Today at 3 o'clock, don't miss the Wrestling Spectacular in Thibodaux at the Civic Center. That's today at 3 o'clock in Thibodaux. The box office opens today at noon. Thibodaux Civic Center, a summer spectacular featuring a barbed wire tag team match, 2 championship showdowns, and all the top UWF stars will be in Thibodaux today at 3 o'clock. Also in Donaldsonville at the Lehman's Memorial Center this Thursday night at 7:30, another super UWF event featuring the Fantastics, Missing Link, and many more. And this Friday night, right here in New Orleans, downtown at the Municipal Auditorium, see Cowboy Bill Watts and Terry Taylor go against the Freebirds, Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy. In the Battle of the Tough Guys, it'll be Hacksaw Jim Duggan going nose to nose with a one-man gang. Don't miss the Missing Link and Coco Ware take on Jack Victory and Hollywood John Tatum. Dark Journey and Missy Hyatt will both be at ringside. Plus, you'll see the Fantastics, Kamala, General Skandar Akbar, Chavo Guerrero, Freebird Buddy Roberts, and many more this Friday night at the Municipal Auditorium down.